Today I wanted to make this video, and by the way, I'm here in Sunset Park. If you guys don't know where that is, Sunset Park is actually right next to the airport, so you can see there are some airplanes that are starting to land. It's on Eastern and Sunset. It's about 5 miles southeast of the Strip. What I wanted to start to talk about is the fact that how we're seeing a lot of signs that the establishment, deep state, whatever, is really starting to fall apart. They're really starting to have some serious problems. Now, in case if you haven't noticed that the leader of the Culinary Union, I can't remember her name, I think it's Klein or something, but they actually, many of them are starting to resign, including herself. So she's resigning, and I think there's a lot of rumors that because she was essentially a plant, she was a tool to basically pander to the union base, who are largely non-citizens, who they can easily be manipulated and be, pushed around by government programs and things like that. And she basically did that as a way to pump support and basically as a way to shill and spread misinformation for the deep state, particularly Hillary Clinton, because as you know, one of the things that's happened is these deep state operatives, these Soroses, all these other different types, they basically have a lot of NGOs, and I've told you about this, Mi Familia Vota, which I haven't heard much from them recently. A lot of these groups are just there to basically pump votes, to play identity politics, pander votes. Now, she has been following the lead of Hillary Clinton for many of her Facebook posts, pushing Russian collusion. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's based on what I see. And as a result of that, well, they're starting to see that Hillary's in trouble. The gates are closing. Things are getting really, really bad. And as a result, what we have to do is just say, well, our time is up, Hillary's in trouble, and so she resigned. But they also know the fact that the Culinary Union doesn't really have a future for a number of reasons. Number one, they essentially pushed this pandemic shutdown mess. Now, it's funny because they told that there was an ongoing virus, but as you can see here, there's a lot of people out here who are at the parks. This is what you find out. And because of all this, we're starting to notice that a lot of these shutdowns, these mass social distancing, vaccines, it didn't turn out to where it's supposed to be. Remember, they pushed all this stuff, not to mention the politicians that kept supporting it. So now what happened as a result? Well, they're embarrassed. A lot of their followers are starting to wake up. I see a lot of people who are connecting to me, letting them know that the Culinary Union misguided them. And we know they're in bed with the casino elites, the Murrens, all these other people. Okay, this is a merger of workers' interest and corporate interest into one, which, usually it's not benefiting the workers nor the consumers. And so we see that this union that has pumped all these corrupt politicians, they haven't been able to get back to their labor force. Their power is diminishing, and that's perhaps one of the reasons why they are resigning. And you can see as a result of this, it's very, very devastating. This is absolutely very, very harsh. And now when we see their power falling down, well, are they going to have the influence and the impact like they did many years ago to pump these politicians up? And there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see that this coming midterms, we're going to see a lot of surprising things happen because a union is not going to be as powerful as it used to be. And let's not forget, many of these jobs these union members do are going to be threatened due to automation, technology, everything that's been going on. I'm telling you folks, Vegas is not in a good shape right now. Vegas is in serious trouble, depending on how you look at it. The housing market is very much overvalued. The It's on the verge of a housing bubble. Prices are just going to blow up. We're going to see essentially a lot of different mess, a lot of different chaos that's going to happen in the coming years. And, you know, then again, tourism is not back to where it used to be. Conventions are not coming back. And this is really the problem, because the other point I wanted to make in this video is the fact that even if I were in charge of everything, things are just so bad that even if I was in control, we're still going to have a lot of problems. We're still going to need about 10, 20 years to fix this mess that we've created for a very, very long period of time. It's just absolutely incredible. So we are not in a pretty good shape. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to have more companies start to suffer, more, you know, people are going to be laid off. This is not working very, very well. And add to top of that, let's not forget the long-term effects of the jabs. Well, if these jabs have been proven that's not been working and doing the opposite, which I'm not going to go further because I'm sure, you know, YouTube is not going to like this, but if we don't have enough pilots because of, for whatever reason you guys know, well, how are we going to bring a lot of these tourists into these areas? It's very devastating when you think about it. It's absolutely very, very harsh. And we're really seeing this whole thing begin to blow up. It's very, very devastating. Look at this. They dump all their trash here. They don't even clean it up. Oh, man. So things in Vegas are going to be screwed up long term. There's just no question about it. You have people who've been buried here.
I said no fishing now.
2000 and what? 2008. Yep. Just gonna be walking along this park. It's okay. Why be normal? Oh, you can kind of see all these areas popping up. Yeah, man, if I was just gonna say, like, if the economy gets so messed up, how are they gonna have enough money to clean up these parks, you know? I bet they do. They just usually waste the money. See, this is why things have been getting worse, because a lot of people didn't care, and a lot of people just didn't know about it. But now with this idea of having telecommunications and spreading the word about everything, people are starting to realize that how everything has been functioning. You know, I was watching a segment of masculinity and just how, you know, masculinity is under attack, family is under attack, gender roles have collapsed. We have seen just, you know, the decline of a lot of things, dating, relationships, everything. And it's no coincidence. I mean, think about it. All these problems we talk about, the same people who are behind this COVID thing, the Russia BS that we've been hearing, they're the same people who are behind, think about every single problem that we see out there. Every single issue we see out there is caused by the very same puppet masters. And we know who a lot of these puppet masters are. You know what kinds of people I'm talking about. You know, some people say it's that 2% of America's population. Well, I wouldn't say all of the 2%, but you know who I'm talking about. And some people are the ones say that they're the same people who are trying to undo the Reformation completely. You know, there's all these different things. There's all these different variables. But you'll find that, obviously, they can happen if we let it happen. See, that's the thing. If we let these things happen, then they happen. If we don't let it happen, then they will carry along. See, the media is still hyping up the COVID thing, the COVID nonsense, and all this other whatever, BS. But we have to understand, though, that you see all these people who are out there having a good time. Well, think of it this way. If, let's just say, you know, people were just continue to stay home, they could have been continued to be bullied by this, but they're not. See, that's the good thing. People are not being bullied. That's the sad truth. And we're starting to realize this. Look at all these ducks and everything. Look at this all right here. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of Spanish speakers out here, so I think you pretty much get the idea of what's going on. Look at this fountain. Yep. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys. What do you guys think? Are we really heading to the right direction? Because that's the thing. You know, a lot of people think that society is going to change when we're going to get the right people in Washington. But remember, a lot of these things are local. A lot of these things are important at the local level. And this is the problem. People need to start focusing on the local level and really getting to know their people around them, their neighbors, their communities. They have to understand what's exactly going on. Things can happen at the local level. Stop focusing too much on Washington and everything that's going on, because that's not what's really, really important in the total scheme of it all. You know, we have the power, we have the leverage, and we're starting to see a lot of things change for the good. Thank God for all this telecommunications. All right, everybody, I'll see you guys soon. Have fun.